So everyone, Max here, Muscle World, and Saturday night, not sure how many viewers I'm going to get on this one because you're probably doing better things than watching a very strange person talk about pull-ups stuff on Saturday night, probably down a pub. But anyway, this will be up for people to see later on if you want to. It'll stay on my channel. Basically, I've had a few questions, and like I said last week, I'll just do an overview of some of the questions I'm being asked, because I don't always have time to make a video about it. And I do like to ask the questions. I think they're good. And if one person's asking a question, then that means somebody else is probably thinking it as well. So I'll answer the questions as best I can. So first one I've got is, I had a question today regarding pull-ups. It was from Peter Gaia. He said, how do you train to get your shoulders so far above the bar in pull-ups? He's referring to the Royal Marines pull-up technique video I did. And that was a while ago, where I believe I showed a video. I was doing the pull-ups, and the bar was coming up to around about by there, or so. Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, being optimistic. I think maybe it was about there. I'm not sure, can't remember. But I was getting in nice and high. Now, if you've been watching my videos lately when using a pull-up bar at home, you won't see me using that style of technique. And the reason why is because my portable pull-up bar weighs only 18 kilograms. And so the amount of force and the amount of power having to generate up to pull yourself at that point, that bar would probably start moving and flip over, or fall over possibly. So when to increase the power and get your body up there, you've got to think away from bodybuilding techniques. So when you think of bodybuilding techniques, you're thinking control, you're thinking control it up, possibly a pause at the top, and then control it down. Great for building muscle. But if you're looking at military style pull-ups, and really trying to pull yourself up, you're not necessarily worrying about how the muscle's contracting or how slow or the time of the tension. You're pulling yourself up over the bar. That's what your focus is. Your focus is getting your body from here up there. So you're going to use a lot of power, a lot of explosive power. So all I can say is, if you want to be able to do that, where you pull your body up and the bar's coming up, so your shoulders are coming up even over the bar, you need to think about doing it explosively and violently. So you hang it from the bar, make sure it's nice and secure, make sure it's a secure frame. If you're using, say, a squat rack that's not secure to the floor, I would load a barbell on it, just to put a few extra weights on. If you see that video of that Peter's referring to, if you check the squat rack I'm doing on, I've actually put a barbell on it with a load of weights on the side, because the force I generate, the thing actually falls backwards if I don't have that weight on there. So you need to imagine you're hanging from the bar, you're violently pulling down. Don't actually think about pulling your body up, obviously you are going to be doing that, but you're really thinking about pulling yourself down, almost as if you're trying to rip the bar down. So just visualize that now, hang from the bar, boom, use everything in your upper back, your arms to really pull the bar down, pull your body up, focus, strength and power. That will project you up, all right? So you really got to focus on that movement. Speed, power, aggression, violence. That's what you need to put into that pull-up, into that rep. Forget about bodybuilding, okay? This is not bodybuilding, and there's different ways of doing different exercises depending on what the outcome is, and that's the most important thing. A lot of people see exercises as just, there's only one way to do the exercise. I got a lot of stick from a press-up video I did, whereby people say, no, you're doing it too fast, you're locking out, you're doing this, that, the other, you've got to slow it down. Yeah, that's great, but it depends what the goal of the exercise is that you're doing it for, why you're doing it that way. There's no right or wrong way of doing the exercise, as long as the technique is sound, and as long as you're not doing something to potentially injure yourself. So yeah, that'll hopefully answer that question there. And secondly, this is an interesting one now, actually. Chopstick, he said, oh sorry, Peter, I just want to say, Peter, thank you very much for asking me that question. Now I did notice actually, mate, I did reply to your comment, but a notification came through to say you replied, but for some reason it didn't, I couldn't view it, so I got no idea what you said. So I'm not being rude, but I haven't replied to your comment. Maybe you deleted it, I don't know. Anyway, Chopstick has sent me a message. He said, what's your views on people joining the Royal Marines I assume Royal Marines, he says Marines, joining the Marines at the upper age limit. So as far as I'm aware, the upper age limit is 32, I think that's the cut-off point. And he said he's 31, he's curious what it'd be like for someone joining this late on. And that is quite an interesting question actually, because I've often wondered that myself. And I'm not sure if I've said previously, but it was a few years ago, 2014 I think. I was a bit bored, I didn't really know what was going on, and I thought, you know, I'm going to pop down to the Armed Forces Careers Office in Cardiff, have a chat with them and just say, look, you know, I left the Marines, 6-7 years ago, whatever it was, and a bit bored at the moment. Would you accept me as a rejoin? And so I had a chat with them, and they basically said to me that if I were to join up at the age I'm at now, which at the time was like about 27 or something like that, I can't quite remember. They basically said everyone, the corporals, are going to be younger than me, and they said, how are you going to feel with that? That you've got people years younger than you telling you what to do. So that'd be something to bear in mind. If you're 31, you might have people in their early 20s telling you what to do. At the end of the day, though, they've earned that. They don't just put there for any reason. Like you get some jobs where people just get promoted for, after being there for 2 weeks. The guys who work at corporals have earned that. So I guess that kind of cancels it out. I mean, I would have understood that, and I'm sure if anyone goes into it, does a training, they'd understand that as well. So that kind of negates that sort of argument there. But the other side of it would be the fitness. Now, 31, and you could probably be stronger than, say, someone who's 19, 20, overall stronger, and you probably could be fitter if you've trained hard and trained harder, but you're not going to recover as quickly as somebody who's in their late teens or early 20s. And that was what I recall from recruit training as well. Most of the guys were probably early 20s, and some of the fitter guys were early 20s, and also some of the older guys that were in, I don't think we had any in their 30s, maybe one or two. But I seem to remember the older guys struggling on a lot of the runs and things like that. I don't think many of them made it. People in the late 20s seem to, but I do remember a lot of the older guys struggling. Whether that was due to them as an individual, I don't know. But a lot of that will come down to the individual. So I can't say to somebody, you're 31, you're going to struggle more than somebody who's 19, because everyone is different. Everyone's got different backgrounds. Everyone's got different biology, different genetics, different makeup, different training. Their bodies are completely different. So if you're a fit 31-year-old, injury-free, and you're interested in doing it, don't let that stop you. Go and do it. Give it a good shot, and you probably find that you're probably stronger than a lot of the other guys. You've got more level-headed than the other guys. But that's the other thing as well. Is you guys who are younger, they're just sort of they're able to come in and straight from school, they're probably just used to it. They can kind of get fed straight into it. Whereas older guys may struggle because you're going to have a house, you're going to have a family, you have a mortgage, children, things like that, which may put external pressures on you and affect your ability to go through recruit training or the further commitments that you get from deployment. So, in other words, it's you can't really say. I'd say give it a go. And at the end of the day, like I said in the last video, it is a challenge, but it is rewarding, it is good. I had a great time doing it, and it is hard, but it's all doable stuff. Right, I had a few questions come in now. Let me answer those if I can remember how to do it on the live stream. Here we go. We're going to touch by here. Right. Hector, my man, how are you doing, buddy? I hope you're great. Thank you for liking the video. Much appreciated. I appreciate all the comments you put. I see you. And Alex Neil, recruit training in a month's time. Wow, good man. Hope you're nice and prepared for that. Good luck with that, mate. You'll be fine. I know we've spoken before about your fitness, so yeah, fantastic stuff. All the best for you, mate. I have some good memories of when I joined back up, and we still remember it like it was yesterday. Hector, another question for you, mate. Can I ask, why did you decide to enjoy Royals Marines Max? I did enjoy it, yeah. I only did it for a few years, maybe four and a half years. Hindsight, wish I stayed a little bit longer, to be honest with you. Got to see the world, met some good friends, did some things I probably never would have done otherwise, so it was a good experience. And I certainly learned a lot about myself, a lot about fitness, and just a lot of general open ways, a lot of things, I think, really. I suppose I'm glad I left now. I am glad to be a civilian, because there's things I wanted to do that I couldn't have done inside as well. So good memories, good experience, and yeah, I would recommend any young guy go along and try something like that. Just learn a bit of discipline and just seeing things differently to what the majority of people do see. Thanks for the question. Just trying to get the next message up. Hi there, what do you think about joining at 16? We've done a video on that one, mate. I mean, likewise to the 31-year-old, I guess, is the other end of the spectrum. I would say, if that's what you want to do, if it's what you want to do, then go and do it. As long as your parents are happy, you've got to get your parents' permission. But one of the strongest guys I knew in recruit training, he was 16, one of the youngest guys, and he was an absolute beast. So, to be honest with you, If you're 16, level-headed, fit, mature, you're not going to miss your mum too much, then crack on, you'll be fine. Plenty of youthful energy. What would be a good way of training? Sorry, hi there, thank you for that question, mate. Ski eye. What would be a good way of training for the Royal Means at age 15? Circuit training, mate. Get yourself circuit training, whether it's on a local sports club or do your own circuits, go out running, circuit training, bodyweight training. That's all you need to do. Later on, if you wanted to start doing weights to complement that, just focus on deadlifts and the listen, I'm laughing, some of these comments go through. Just focus on the deadlifts and the squats. Compound exercises are going to strengthen the hip muscles. Okay, so yeah, that's all you need to do, mate. Focus on your press ups, pull ups, sit ups, bodyweight squats, sprints, running, long duration running, and you'll be fine, mate. Just gradually progress. So do more, try and run faster, try and increase the distances you're running and the amount of press ups and pull ups you're doing, but make sure you are using good form. Okay, so a lot of guys they start doing press ups and doing all this. I want to see you doing proper press ups. So you're going down like that and bang, getting your full range of motion. Okay, that is very important. Make sure you're doing that. And the earlier you start that, the better it's going to be, because if you're 15, your frame's going to be a little bit smaller. So what you find is, if your frame's smaller, proportionally, you're going to be able to lift more weight. Well, not more weight, do more repetitions with your body weight. So as you get bigger and more developed, then you're going to hopefully retain some of that relative strength. That's what it's called, relative strength, in terms of your body weight. So you find that children often have very good relative strength compared to adults, particularly if the adult hasn't trained. Anyway, so thank you very much for that question. Well, let's have a look now. I've got a few more ones here. Hello, Oil, past fortnight and more. How are you doing, my man? How was your first day at, your first week at school? It's been a week now, isn't it? How did it go, mate? Did it go well? And you don't need to lose tummy fat, because I've seen you, mate, and you don't have you don't have a fat tummy. No, that's I'm really pleased to hear that. Hopefully be able to catch up with you soon and you can tell me what sort of things you get up to. And second week next week in Big Boy School. Yeah, all right, guys. Any more questions? But I will answer that question actually on burning body fat, because but you cannot spot reduce your belly fat. All right, there's a lot of people say you do this, do that, do sit ups, do crunches, and still people think about it. I mean, that was kind of busted ages ago, the whole spot reduction thing. And I remember reading about it over a decade ago. It was common knowledge back then. Oh, I thought it was common knowledge back then. People these days still seem to think that you can spot reduce. I speak to people in the gym on a regular basis. They come in, they say they want to target this area here or this area there in terms of body fat. And I say to them, you cannot spot reduce, okay? So spot reduction basically means target in fat. So say you've got fat here that you want to lose, or fat here that you want to lose, you cannot target that area specifically, okay? So we'll just put that there across the board. So if you want to get rid of the fat on your belly, that basically means that you need to lose fat overall, and your body will decide where you burn that fat from. Now, typically as men tend to store their fat in that sort of area. So that means that if you're storing the fat in that area predominantly, you start losing weight by doing calorie reduction in terms of what you're eating less, and by moving more and increasing your calorie expenditure, whether that be through cardiovascular exercise, resistance training, walking, rock climbing, hill climbing, whatever, your body's going to start to burn the adipose tissue, and it'll probably get it from where you're storing from, which is your belly. So that's the way to do it. Focus on your diet, focus on decreasing your calories, focus on increasing your calorie expenditure through exercise, daily movement, whatever. Thank you for the question, but that's answered now, and hopefully that'll be it. No one will ever need to know that question again, because I've categorically answered that one. Right, I got a few more questions coming in now. Let me get these come up now. Right. Thanks for that question, Will Pass, my man. Okay, Sam, how you doing, fella? I haven't seen you on a live chat for a while. I don't think I've ever seen you spoke to on a live chat, but I have seen you in the comments, and always good to hear from you. Max, quick tips for drown proofing. Well, I've got to say safety first. Okay, I love that, because that was the best challenge I did last year, was the drown proofing. I loved it, really enjoyed it, and it was probably the most relaxing experience in a very strange way. my first tip would be to not try it because it's dangerous. But if you are going to try it, then make sure you are following safety procedures. And obviously, when I did the drown proofing challenge, I didn't do the full thing because I didn't tie my hands up with rope. I used elastic bands to kind of simulate that, which just means I did have a bit of leeway because naturally, your legs and your arms are going to move. If anyone who doesn't know, drown proofing is something the Navy SEALs do as part of their test, whereby they basically they tie their hands up, or they have their hands tied behind their back and their legs tied together with rope, and then they're then thrown into a deep swimming pool and they have to perform a series of drills with their hands and legs tied up. So they're going underwater, they've got to do what's called a bottom bounce, where you go to the bottom of the pool and it's about 3.5 meters deep, and then you've got to go back to the surface, breathe, sink down to the bottom, and you've got to perform that 20 times. You've then got to perform swimming without using your arms and your legs. You've then got to perform just floating on the water. Sorry, I think that comes first, actually, the floating. You've got to float on the water for 5 minutes without touching the sides, without using your arms or your legs. And then you've got to, after you've done your swim, I think it's 100 meters or 200 meters, I can't remember, you've got to come back and then do a somersault on the water, front, backwards somersault, and then you've got to swim down to the bottom of the pool without using your arms or legs. Again, all these without using your arms or legs because they're tied behind your back. And then retrieve a mask off the bottom of the deepest part of the pool. So my tips for that would be adhere to safety. That's always the most important thing. Okay, so look, when I did it, I had 2 lifeguards at the top. When the Navy SEALs do it, they have divers in the water and they're actually with them, watching them as they do the test. Obviously, I'm not a Navy SEAL, I've never done a Navy SEAL, I've got a lot of respect for the guys, so I'm not proclaiming that I've done anything that they can do. But I did research this to find out what sort of things that they did and the safety procedures they looked at. So they, from what I've read and what I saw, they do adhere to sort of very high safety standards, in that what they're doing is dangerous, and it shouldn't really be attempted by people like you and I, because they're special forces soldiers. So when I did it, I had 2 lifeguards at the top of the pool, and I had a private pool all myself. The deep end, I think, was 3.5 meters deep, and there was a shallow end, but that made it actually more difficult for me, because when I was doing the swimming bit, it was difficult to actually not touch the bottom. By accident, sometimes my feet were scraping the bottom, so I was trying hard not to do that there. But obviously the Navy SEALs do it in, I think it's a complete deep pool the entire time. I lost my train of thought now. Where was I going with that? Yeah, so my tips would be safety first, of course, and then just focus on your confidence, make sure you've got people there with you. I would say practice without, I definitely wouldn't say tie your hands up, tie your legs up, but it's just to relax specifically on the bottom bounce, because what you find is you go in the water, and I don't know about you, but it's difficult to kind of sink straight away. You've got to get your focus. As you start sinking in the water, I found I was getting down to about this. There's like the surface of the water. I was getting down to about there the first few times, and I was just kind of hovering by there, and I wasn't actually going any further down. So I'm holding my breath, and then eventually I managed to get the bottom bounced up, and then once I started to get that momentum, and I got a rhythm going, which is the important thing. You get that rhythm going, then you can just focus. And I was just so relaxed when I was doing it. I actually lost count. I was like, I had to go to the top and go, I've lost count, mate. To the lifeguard, where am I? And he said, you've done 20 now. And I was like, oh, fantastic, okay. So then I moved on to the next stage. But I could have happily done that all afternoon, to be honest, the bottom bounce. Once you get past the initial, I think it's about 12 seconds of being underwater and your body not really knowing what's doing, your mind not knowing what it's doing, that's when you can start to panic. But as long as you've got the confidence, you can override that panic. And then once you've overridden that panic, you're fine. So what you might find is you get to that stage, you think, oh God, I can't breathe, I can't do this, I can't swim, I can't move my hands, I can't move my legs. You begin to panic, and that's when you break, go to the surface, and then you fail. So once you get past it, I'd say that initial 12 seconds, as long as you can do that, and as long as you are rhythmically doing it, then you should be fine. But just make sure you don't go into hypoxia, and you don't starve yourself of oxygen. So make sure you've got someone there watching you, so who knows, you can see if you go outside your limits. So that's the most important thing. The rest of it then was, to be honest, a piece of cake. But obviously it's going to be a little bit hard because I would have had ropes on. Okay, I hope that's answered your question, Sam. But yeah, great fun. I really enjoyed that challenge, actually. I'd love to do it again, to be honest with you. But yeah, okay. Oh, loads of questions. Bye, Alex. Thanks, mate. Right, Alex, you still there, mate? Alex, you still there? Because I've got a lot of questions for you. You just said bye. So you want to know how to get big muscles, and that is by lifting weights, progressive overload. Following progressive overload is the most important thing. That's by gradually increasing the weight, focusing on compound exercises, and also by consuming an adequate diet with plenty of protein, plenty of carbs, plenty of fat. Getting good sleep is another one. But the important thing with that is consistency, and that is to keep going. You can't just go and have big arms day on a Tuesday and then not train them for another month or so. You've got to be day in, day out, consistently doing it. And what you find over the years then is you'll just develop solid muscles, and you won't need to train as much then as you get older because the muscles are already there. Okay. Mando Mavicus, here's one. How well do you sleep, and have any sleeping tips? To be honest with you, mate, Mando, good question. My sleep is horrendous. I very rarely get it. I sleep at work long hours. I've done a lot of shift work over the years, so I very rarely get the 8 hours sleep, and that's one thing I do not do well. I train well, I eat well, but I don't sleep that well. Particularly at the moment, I've got a really noisy neighbour, so and he just stomps around every night. So I only had about 2-3 hours sleep last night, but I'm used to being sleep deprived, so I can get away with it. But it's not good for you. So yeah, what I would say in terms of tips for sleeping is try and relax. Turn your phone off. Don't take your phone to bed with you. I put mine on airplane mode because that just means that I'm not going to get distracted. I'm not going to have any texts come through. Secondly, I like to take a magnesium tablet before bed. I don't really do much supplementation, but magnesium is something I do recommend, and I do think it works. And the reason I can say that is, and I'll probably do a video on it at some point because it's something that I've come across and something I believe in. If you imagine you go to the beach and you have a good day at the beach. Every time I've done that, you've been in the sea, spent some time in the sea. Afterwards, I'm always incredibly relaxed and incredibly sleepy, and I can quite happily have a nap. Imagine you go on holiday or whatever, you go to the beach, you're really relaxed and happy and content. Now, the research I've done on that is I believe that is to do with the fact that there's magnesium, high magnesium concentration in the water that your body absorbs through your skin. And if you look at things like Radox herbal baths and things like that, look at the ingredients, the stuff that relaxes you, they've got magnesium in there as well, which absorbs through the skin. So magnesium tablet, take magnesium, I found it does make you quite sleepy, and I found I've drifted off into deeper sleeps, and I've actually had quite dreams and things like that. So it's all anecdotal at the moment, but I do believe magnesium can help you have a good night's sleep. I would also say as well, this is a new thing that I'm working on, is having a cold shower before bed. Now, I used to have having cold showers in the morning, but now I've started having cold showers constantly, consistently, regularly, all the time, which I've been doing this for a while now. And I have found a cold shower directly before bed, or even a cold bath directly before bed, has helped me literally drift off straight away. It seems to have the opposite effect in the morning, where it makes you more alert, but then for some reason in the night time, cold shower or cold bath, bang, out like a light. And yeah, I highly recommend it, and I highly recommend you try it. Other things as well with regards to sleeping is having a routine. That is a big one, a very important one. But I mean, if you work shifts, and most people, today's age, it's difficult to have shifts, and to get the 8 hours. If you've got kids or other things like that, other commitments, it is difficult to get the 8 hours not to sleep and go to bed at 10 and get up at 6. Very difficult in today's society, I know, with work. Right, so again, now thank you so much for the question. What should we watch out for in working out our neck? What do you mean in terms of injury? I would just say, anyway, sort of really hyperextend it too much. Keep it strict, keep it controlled. With regards to neck training. Jade Cummings, good day. Good day to you, Jade. How are you? Joe McIntyre, hardest week of the 32 weeks. That's a tough one. Tough question. I don't know. I would say each week has got something that's tough about it, really. I think from the first week was just difficult in terms of what the hell have I done? What am I doing? What have I gotten into? What's going on? And then you get used to it. Then your body adapts. Everything's got its challenge. I mean, there were some weeks where I thought, that was an easier easier week than what we've had, and I think they program that in so your body can actually recover. But I wouldn't say they were easy weeks; they were just slightly easier than other weeks. It depended also on how well you were performing as a troop, because if you messed up and annoyed your training team, they just frag you. They just beast you. So I remember, we were on the Rangers, and they just beasted us. You do your curriculum stuff that is set in the program, but then things like being woken up in the middle of the night and having to run along the beach and crawl along the beach and in the sea when you're supposed to be sleeping for 3 hours, and in the sand, that was not part of the curriculum. So I did that, because my troop may have messed up for whatever reason, but if you go through it, your troop may not do that, but you may get beasted on another week. So it's difficult, and I think a lot of the troops will experience different weeks depending on the training team. But I would say they were all, the bottom field week was pretty challenging. That's why you do bottom field every single day. I'd say the easiest week would have been the King Squad week. That was just drill basically and admin, and the Commando test week was relatively easy because you just did the tests. And they left you alone really outside that because they didn't want to sort of injure you sort of before a test. So I got really itchy nose. Hope that answers your question. Very difficult question, but also bear in mind training will have changed from when I did it to how it is now. So difficult one. I'd probably have to get like a program out of what weeks were what, because it was a long time ago. If you imagine me saying to you, what were you doing 15 years ago? Can you tell me the hardest thing you did 15 years ago? You're probably not really remember. So a lot of it, I can't really remember exact details. I'd have to get like a program in front of me of what I did week by week, and then say, oh yeah, that was a cheeky week. That was. I do actually have one somewhere. We got the issued us at the start of training where they just say week by week what you're doing. So week 1 you're doing this, week 2 you're doing that, week 3 you're doing that, all the way to your 32 weeks, and explain what you're doing. So maybe if you guys are interested, just leave in the comment section if you want me to go over it. I'll try and dig that out and go through week by week what we did in training and just say what I thought of it, give you my opinion, because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's all my opinion. It's all speculative, but hopefully it helps. Hopefully it helps you. Let's have a look through these now. Okay. Also, do you have a weights gym at Limpstone and time to lift? There is a weights gym there. You won't be lifting. You won't be doing any weightlifting there. So the weights gym is for the PDIs will be in there. They'll be doing their own training. So the people who are already trained ranks will be in there doing their training. So the staff who work there, etc. You won't be doing any training there unless you're rehabilitating an injury, in which case you might find that you're in there doing strengthening exercises to build you back up, because you won't be doing that. The only weight training you'll be doing will be a part of your strength circuit. So you'll do, particularly the starter training, you'll do military fitness circuits, and then you'll do military fitness strength circuits as well. So they'll be slightly different in terms of the exercise you're doing. You'll be doing deadlifts, squats, basic combat exercises as part of a circuit. So you won't be doing bodybuilding or things like that, and you shouldn't be. I don't think you're allowed to use the gym, and you probably wouldn't want to anyway because your body's just knackered and you want to recover anyway. Hope that helps. I know HMS Riley, they have one. Recruits don't have time to use it due to training 24/7 sucks for maintaining muscle. Yeah, absolutely right, mate. And that's the thing. Muscle's not really the best thing for military, because you find you go out in the field for 7 days. If you've got loads of muscle, you're going to eat more food, so you're not as efficient as a soldier. So you find a lot of soldiers are actually quite small. And not sort of gigantic beasts, and the big gigantic beasts generally tend to get more tired. They don't tend to be able to have as much endurance as the smaller, lighter soldiers. Right. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate that, mate. Dav Serban, would you recommend gainers for progressive training? Sorry, Dav, I'm not sure what you mean by gainers for progressive training. Do you mean like weight gain, as in like a protein weight gain? I'm assuming that's what you mean. To be honest with you, mate, I would say focus on your diet more than supplements. I would say if you are trying to put on weight, trying to progress your training, focus on your good training, focus on solid nutrition, make sure you're eating enough calories, you're eating good quality protein before you buy those supplements. Because with my personal experience, and everyone is different, is I find if I've got a tub of protein powder there, and I'm a little bit hungry, I haven't cooked any food, I've been a little bit busy, I'm going to go for the protein powder. I'm going to have a shake. But if I haven't got the protein powder, I'm feeling a little bit peckish, I have to make myself some proper food. So that's what I tend to do, and that works for me. Do what works for you, mate. What I suggest is, if you want to try it, by all means, go out, buy yourself a big tub of protein powder or mass gainer, give it a go, see how it works for you. And everyone's going to be different, everyone's going to have their own ways of doing things, but what I found works for me, if I want to put on weight, I will drink a lot of milk. And I've always done that, it's always been my go-to, milk's always been my go-to. Ever since I first started training, milk was always my post-workout. And I think the reason why was because when I used to read comic books, there was an advert and it was the Hulk and he was advertising milk and saying how good it was. So I think that's kind of stuck with me. I read some sports scientist when I was probably about 16 or something. I read a magazine, it must have been. Some sports scientist said, all you need after training is a pint of milk and a banana. And that just stuck on my head, and that's pretty much stayed with me ever since. And yeah, I've gone off and used protein drinks and protein shakes, Maxi Muscles, Cyclones, creatines, all this stuff, but I always revert back to the milk because it's easier for me and I have found more benefit from it. So with regards to the milk as well, before training, after training, and if you really want to put on weight, after every meal. So say you're eating 4 or 5 good solid meals, that's the important thing, the good solid meals, okay, you're hitting all your macros, so you're getting plenty of carbs, plenty of fat, plenty of protein as well, good quality food, you're not just going off and eating McDonald's, eating good quality food. Have a pint of milk straight away, so you prepare your meal, put it on a plate, pour yourself a pint of milk, put that on the side, pour yourself a pint of water, put that on the side, eat your food, drink your water whilst you're eating your food. As soon as you finish your plate, no matter how full you are, down your pint of milk. Every time, religiously, like every single time. I found that worked for me, and I was like, give it a go, do that for a few months, and I'm pretty sure you'll put on a bit of weight. So whenever I want to put on weight, that is what I generally tend to do. I have tried having the pint of milk sort of in between meals. I think that would probably be ideal, but with work and things like that, it is difficult. So you've got to find what works with you and what fits within your lifestyle, because then you'll be able to do it. So that's the key thing. There can be sports scientists and things like that can come out and say this is the perfect way to do it. Bang, 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 bang. That's great. But if you can't fit it into your lifestyle, it doesn't work, does it? You've got to take the information that that's being out there, that you're getting from sports scientists, you're getting from athletes, you're getting from people on YouTube with experience. But then you need to be able to take that knowledge and then apply it to your specific circumstances. Everyone's different, everyone's got different jobs, everyone's got different lives, everyone's got different family commitments, different work commitments, things like that. And that is the important thing, is you can fit it into your lifestyle. If you can't fit it in your lifestyle, then it can be the best diet in the world, it can be the best nutrition plan in the world, it can be the best exercise regime in the world. If it doesn't fit your lifestyle, you're not going to do it. So you need to do it, and the consistency is more important than anything. Right. Mando, you're very welcome, mate. Thank you. Max. Oilplast. Oilplast is my nephew, as he just said there. Max is my uncle. Good man. Right, does bullyism exist in Royal Marines? Mate, I can't answer for it now. I imagine it probably does. I think it exists everywhere. You're always going to get bullies wherever you are. So I imagine it probably does exist. I don't speak for the Royal Marines, because I'm not, in no way am I affiliated to them. I'm a veteran who served in the Marines a long time ago. I imagine it probably are. You get bullies in every single workplace, you get them in school, you get them in college, and you'll always get them wherever you go. You always get a bully, someone who thinks they're better than others, and someone who wants to pick on people who are weaker than them. Always get it, and I think it's just a fact of life. But I think, they probably do get weeded out. Oilplast, what do you need to donate for, mate? You don't need to donate for anything. But thank you anyway. Project simulation. I think a dev server means increasing the number of reps of a certain exercise. Right, okay, project simulation, right. I see what you mean there. So say, for example, if you want to focus on specific exercise. Yeah, I like, you mean volume, I think, is what you're getting at there. Sorry if it's not computing with me at the moment. So increasing the volume, yeah, definitely. That's something I do believe in. Increase the volume of it. I think it's called priority training, whereby, say, if you wanted to work a particular area, legs, for example, you wanted to work your thighs a little bit more, you could do squats every time you go to the gym at the start of the workout. And I've done this successfully as well. I used to have matchstick legs, these little matchsticks, and I was so ashamed of them. Because the reason why was because I used to run all the time. I used to do so much running, and I was good at running. I enjoyed running. But my legs just didn't respond then to resistance training. When I go to the gym and I do normal workouts, I do 4 or 5 sets of squats, a few leg presses, a few leg extensions. The quads just didn't really start working. High reps, focus driven, always worked. So say for example, 20 rep squat program is a good example of that, because every time you go to the gym, the first thing you do is a set of 20 rep squats, and you progress every time as well. If you can't progress, you go back until you can progress, and that is a really good workout for building your legs. Other programs I've used then is where I've done a sort of split body routines. So say I've done an upper body, lower body, push-pull style exercises. I always change things, and I do like hybrid workouts that I come up with myself. The first exercise would be back squat, if that was what I was focusing on at the time. First exercise would be back squat, and I would do exercises on back squat, whether it was high repetitions, heavy weights, burn the legs out every single time I went to the gym, so the legs were forced to get stronger. They had no choice, they had to get stronger, they had to grow, because I was hitting them with stimulus that they had to respond to. That they had to do something about it. They just, otherwise they wouldn't be able to keep up with it. And that's the way you've got to see it. If you want to push your body to do something, you've got to challenge it. When you challenge your body, then your body has to respond. It's got to, because it's like a survival instinct. Your body has to adapt to things, and you bring that to your training. As long as you're doing it safely, and as long as you're doing it in a way your body can adapt to, so you're not just trying to start off here and then go straight up to there. As long as it's progressive when you're doing it, then your body will respond and adapt to it. Your body's capable of doing so much, and I think it's just knowing that, but also knowing that you still got to recover, you still got to eat enough food, you got to get your sleep, etc. as well. I hope that's it. Cheers, Max, but Bernard's got it. Hope it helps, mate. Hopefully not lactose intolerant, mine might be different. YouTube, etc. Can I eat spaghetti off your head? Yeah, if you want to come to Cardiff, mate, you're more than welcome to do that. That'd be quite funny. I'd make a good video. Max is my brother. Hi, Max. Hi, Hector and Max. Spaghetti. You all want to grab a drink? If you're in Cardiff, mate, I'm not doing anything else tonight. So what's spaghetti we're gonna eat off my head then? We're gonna eat spaghetti bolognese. Right, guys, it looks like the conversation has kind of gone quite funny now. Thank you very much for watching. There's been a few of you stuck here since the start. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for being a fantastic bunch as always. Thanks for subscribing. And I know you're joking, mate. I'm just playing with you. Thank you very much, and have a great evening. All the best. And like have good one there, mate. I like this one. How was the legs after 26 miles? So that was 26 miles, and that was with the carbon, I'm assuming. Legs, the day after, I was very tight, but I wasn't that sore. And the reason I put that down to not being so very sore was because it was all concentric. If you look at the movement I'm doing, there was no lowering phase. There was no kind of phase where the muscles were lowering under weight. So it was all concentric, no eccentric portion. And I think that's probably why I wasn't that sore. But I was very tight, and I went and had a massage, and it was a very, very, very painful experience. But it was certainly felt better. And I was back in the gym 2 days. Well, not the next day, the following day. So I think I finished it on the Sunday. I had a couple of hours, about 8 hours sleep. Massage on the Monday, back in the gym on the Tuesday. I did light weights on the leg pressures to get back into it, but I was walking fine, no problem. But yeah, good question. But I was particularly knackered towards the end of the actual 26.2. Did enjoy it though, and it was probably the best, one of the best days of my year. Actually, really enjoyed that. What would be ideal? Iron Duke, what would be the ideal age to join the Royal Marines? Everyone's different, mate. I don't know. It depends on the individual. As long as you're fit enough, as long as you're mature enough, as long as you're strong enough, then I would just say go for it whenever you want to. I don't think it's an ideal age. If I had to put a number, I'd probably say early 20s, but everyone is different. For me personally, I probably would have benefited from joining later, but I don't know, because I don't know what could have happened if I didn't join up when I was in my early teens. I may not have been so impressionable. I don't know. Very difficult question to answer that is. I think everyone is different. Would you recommend a 15-year-old go to the gym? Why not? Can't see why not. I would say go and exercise. Personally, I would say start off, and this is with anyone, not necessarily 15-year-old. I would say start off with bodyweight exercises. Start off doing press-ups, start off doing pull-ups, start off doing bodyweight squats, sit-ups, planks, chin-ups. These sort of exercises, I would always say start off with those. Get your body used to exercising, get yourself used to working with your body weight, so you get that relative strength that I talked about earlier. And then, once you can do 20, 30 press-ups, no problem, you can do 10 pull-ups with good form, you can then move on to weights, and you can find different areas then that you want to work on. But I would say start off with body weight, because you're building a nice foundation. Then you've got your nice foundation, then you've got your roots there, you've got your stability, you've got your core strength, you've got your relative strength, you've got your flexibility, your mobility, you've got your discipline there for training, and then branch out, build the rest of it, grow then, do what you want to do, whether you want to do weightlifting, whether you want to get stronger, whether you want to get bigger, you can develop from that. And I think bodyweight training does build an excellent foundation, and I actually see the people regularly. They come in, they want to, a lot of young guys, they come to the gym and they want to lift heavy weights, they want to get a big bench press, big chest, they want to impress a girl. And I say to them, come on, let's just do press up test. So we'll go to the weights room, just by the weights room, get them do some press ups with good form, all the way up, all the way down. Also, can't do 10. And I say, look guys, right, let's just take a step back now. And I'm not trying to belittle them in any way. I'm not trying to say, look, you're weak on it. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, look guys, don't forget the basics. Start with the basics, build up from there. And I show them the tools and how to improve the press ups, do more, and then step into the weights room and start building upon that. Because I think a lot of guys are, in particular, do this. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but guys do particularly try and run before they can walk in terms of the weight room. I think it's an ego thing, it's a testosterone thing, and I can understand it, because I was in the same boat and I did the same thing. Build your foundation, step up, and you'll come on really well. Your physical develop, your strength develop, your fitness will develop as a result. Hope that helps, Stephen. Thank you for the question. Next challenge, right? Well, I've got a 13,000 subscriber challenge coming up soon if I can get the extra subscribers. So I'm looking at it now. I'm on 12,834, I think. If I get to 13,000 soon, I will do a special subscriber challenge that I usually do them every 1,000 subscribers, do a challenge. So it'd probably be something heavy, carry something heavy somewhere, but I'm not going to allude any further than that. I've got a few ideas up my sleeve. Valerian, when is your next Q&A? I'm going to try and do them every single week. All right. So any questions you want, leave a comment on one of my videos. This video, any video you want, I read them all. I will try and respond to your comment, but I will also try and elaborate further in a video. Also, as well, if you message me on Instagram, muscle.world.fitness, that's muscle.world.fitness, message me on there. I'll try and I will answer you directly, as long as it's a decent question, like you're not being rude or anything like that, or just being an idiot. As long as you're polite and asking me questions, then I'll reply. But I do get a lot of spam and stuff on there as well, so I got to try and weed through what's spam and what is people being genuine. So sometimes it takes me about up to 24 hours to reply on that, but I will reply as quickly as I can. What I'll do with that then is I'll answer you individually, and then I'll elaborate it on a video. So something I'm going to start doing now is compiling questions that I'm asked, good questions, and then answering them on a video like this as well. I also invite you guys then to send me a message whilst we're live streaming, so I can pluck an answer out of thin air and try my best to answer the question. Now, if I don't know the answer to your question, then I will endeavour to get back to you. I will have a think, because sometimes you might ask a question that I can't quite remember that one, or I might need to have a think about it to come up with a suitable answer for you, but I will get back to you, okay? Hope that helps. Right, okay, hang on. So Valerian, look out for the next Q&A. I'll try and do it next week. Okay, Frank Wonder, 48 with only 1% motivation. I survive on frozen cheese, pizza and vodka, and I'm borderline obese. Is there a place in the Marines for me, maybe office work? If you get yourself fit to do it, mate, there could be a place for you, as long as you're fit enough to do it, medically fit enough to do it as well, and you're prepared to go through the work it's going to take you to get from where you're at the moment to where you need to be, which it will take work. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm saying it will take work, and that's for anyone. You say yourself you've got 1% motivation, you will need to put that up, you will need to look after your diet, and you get yourself in a stronger position. If you're drinking that amount of vodka and you're eating a poor diet, you're not doing yourself any favours if that's what you want to do. But then what you'll find is you have to get even office work in the Marines, you've got to go through commando training. Every single Royal Marine is a commando first and foremost. You do your commando training, become a general duty Marine, and after that, then you can go off and do other things such as office work, store work, driver, sniper, things like that. But you've still always got that commando role. So say, for example, they need infantry soldiers, boom, they'll take you out of your role there and you can be a commando as well, okay? But if it's something you want to do, mate, drop me a message and we can talk about your fitness. And I've got plans and things like that free on YouTube, which you can look at and hopefully get yourself back in fitness. But if you need any tips at all on losing weight and getting fit and increasing your motivation, just give me a shout. I'm happy to help you. Just drop me a message on Instagram or in the comment section, all right? But I hope that helps, mate. And if it's something you want to do, you can do it, but you will have to work hard. Thanks for that, Frank. All right, one more. What can I do as an aerobic exercise when my knees and shins hurt? Low impact, swimming. Swimming is a great one. There's low impact exercises, swimming, cycling, and maybe, I don't really like the elliptical trainer, but you could do that as a last resort. I would say focus on swimming, high intensity swimming. Another good exercise could be something like a prowler push, because you're getting a benefit, a prowler or a sled push, and also if you've got access to those in your gym where you have like artificial grass on the floor, you'll have a sled that you can push, you can pull, is you can do pushing movements there, high intensity pushing movements that give you the benefit pretty much of sprinting, but without the impact. So something like that could be, you could introduce something like that into your routine as a high intensity training. So you could look at things like sled pushes, battle ropes to increase your high intensity aerobic workouts, but without the actual sort of repetitiveness of the running. Make sure your shins are fixed before you go into recruit training. If that's where you're going, I'm assuming that's where you're going, because you don't want to be going through 32 weeks with shin splints already. So just take a step back if you need to, ice them, rest them, strengthen them, let them recover, and then sort of get back into it. All right, you won't be doing yourself any favors otherwise. You'll be making things a little bit more harder for yourself. But I hope you get things sorted, mate, with return to your shins. But yeah, don't stop. I hope that helps, Dav. Right, the Calv 17. If I come Wales, fancy going up the Brecon Beacons. Yeah, I'm always up for that, mate. I'll get up the Brecon Beacons, go for a walk, go up the mountains, go do some fun. But yeah, just let me know, drop me a message, see if we can arrange something. I've had a message about arranging some kind of 3 Peaks challenge or something like that. So I do have that in mind at the moment, so it could be good for us to arrange something like that in the future, whereby we all get together and go climb a mountain. Snowdon, Ben Nevis, whatever, all of them, whatever, we do some kind of challenge, so maybe raise some money for charity, I don't know. If you've got any suggestions, ideas, let me know, pop in the comment section below, or message me on Instagram, muscle.world.fitness, alright, thank you very much. But yeah, always up for that. If, assuming I'm not working or anything, I'm straight up there. Stephen, thank you very much, mate. Hector, I saw many fitness man practicing how punching as type of training at abs. What do you think about it? That sounds like it's a boxing style training, because I don't know a great deal about boxing style training. The only way I can see that is maybe the activation of the muscle, because if you punch the muscle, you're bracing it, so maybe that works for a fight. That I don't know, but that is not my specialisation in terms of training, so I don't really want to sort of go down and just answer that for the sake of answering it. I would say maybe direct that question towards somebody who specialises in boxing or MMA, that they may know a little bit more than me with regards to that. But I mean, in terms of general fitness, like bodybuilding, things like that, then the actual punching the abs may not really be of assistance unless it is in terms of an activation. So that's something we sometimes use for activating the glutes, is you'll just give them a little tap or maybe give a little poke with a stick so that they actually engage the glutes, because people are having trouble engaging a muscle, and then you say you hit it, or you apply some kind of force on it, and then they can actually engage it. So maybe that's what they're doing it for. But if it's for boxing training or MMA training, martial arts training, then best ones to speak to would be people down that sort of road, because they'll know a lot more about that than I will. But thank you for the question regardless. Thanks, mate. I look forward to your message tomorrow. Is rope climb harder than pull-up? Depends on your technique. If you've got poor technique, then yes. If you've got good technique, then you could probably climb up and down for quite some time, because if you're using a technique and you're not just using your arms only, then you use your legs. Arms only rope climbing is very challenging, and it does put a lot of strain, particularly on tendons. You do tend to get a lot of soreness and inflammation in this area if you just do guns only rope climbs. So I would say rope climbing is harder than doing pull-ups. Right, guys, thank you so much for the questions. Now I'm going to call it a day there. Unless any more comes through in the next 10 seconds. Thank you so much for all the questions I've received today. Thanks for the questions in the past. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Hope you have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Get yourself downtown, whatever you're doing. All the best. I'll speak to you very, very soon. All the best. Bye-bye.